If you've spent any time in audio forums or scrolling through headphone reviews, you've definitely seen people saying, "You need a DAC," as if you can't call yourself an audio lover until you plug in a DAC in your setup. But before you make that impulse purchase, let's take a breath and talk about what DACs actually do, when they make a difference, and when you're just wasting money. Let's start with the basics. Every digital device you own, your phone, your laptop, your tablet, already has a DAC inside. That's because your music doesn't start as sound. It starts as data, ones and zeros. A DAC, short for digital to analog converter, transforms those numbers into electrical signals your headphones or speakers can actually play. So yes, DACs are essential, but that doesn't mean every external DAC is essential. Here's where things get interesting. People talk about DACs like there's some kind of plug-and-play miracle that'll transform your sound the moment you hook one up. No explanations needed. But the truth is far more grounded. A DAC can improve your sound, but only when the rest of your setup is capable of revealing those improvements. Think of it like upgrading the engine in a car that still has cheap tires. You might have more power, but you won't feel the benefits because the weakest part of your setup is holding everything else back. For most people, the biggest bottleneck isn't their DAC at all. It's their headphones or earphones. If you're using budget earbuds or headphones with limited soundstage, restricted frequency response, or muddy tuning, adding a DAC won't magically transform them into something they're not. They'll still be the same headphones, just receiving a more accurate signal. So, when does a DAC actually matter? Let's talk power. Some headphones, especially studio and audiophile models, require more power than your phone or laptop can comfortably provide. These are often referred to as high impedance or hard-to-drive headphones. If your volume maxes out too quickly, or your headphones sound thin, flat, or lifeless, that's a sign they're underpowered. In that situation, an external DAC, especially one with a built-in amplifier, can genuinely make a noticeable improvement. Not because the DAC is higher quality, but because it's delivering the power your headphones need to perform at their best. But if you're using efficient low-impedance headphones or modern IEMs, the truth is these don't need much power at all. They're designed to run perfectly fine off a smartphone. You might notice tiny refinements with a DAC. Sure, maybe a slightly cleaner background or marginally better imaging. But nothing dramatic. Certainly nothing worth hundreds of dollars. Another thing to consider is your audio source. Listening to low bitrate Spotify, YouTube music, or heavily compressed MP3 files. A DAC can't fix that. If the details are missing in the file itself, no hardware can magically recreate them. It would be like trying to sharpen a blurry photo. You can clean up the edges, but the missing details won't suddenly reappear. However, if you're streaming lossless audio using FLACs, or playing high-resolution tracks, then a DAC does have more room to help, assuming your headphones are capable of revealing that extra information. But here's a reality check that doesn't get talked about enough. Some DACs are simply overpriced. The audio world has a habit of turning simple electronics into luxury products wrapped in fancy words. Velvet black noise floor, spatial holography. These are great for marketing, but in real-world listening, the differences between reasonably made DACs are often extremely small. What does make a difference? Build quality, good internal components, proper shielding, clean power delivery. When a DAC is designed well, you'll hear consistent, reliable sound without hiss, static, or distortion. When a DAC is built cheaply, and there are many cheap USB dongles out there, you may get worse performance than the DAC inside your phone. We've seen people buy $8 dongles just to add a headphone jack, only to discover noisy connections, glitchy playback, or microphones that suddenly stop working. On the other hand, we've also seen people spend hundreds of dollars on DACs expecting life-changing improvements, only to realize everything still sounds almost the same because their headphones were the limiting factor the whole time. So here's the honest advice. Before buying a DAC, evaluate your setup. Ask yourself 3 questions. Are my headphones good enough to reveal subtle improvements? If you're not using quality headphones, That's where your money should go first. Do my headphones need more power? If you're running high impedance or power-hungry headphones, a DAC and amp combo makes sense. Am I using high-quality audiophiles or streaming services? If not, a DAC won't magically upgrade bad files. If you can confidently check those boxes, then yes, a good DAC can absolutely improve your listening experience. You'll hear cleaner detail, tighter bass, better volume control, and a more refined presentation. But if you can't answer those questions positively, don't rush into buying a DAC just because the internet told you to. At the end of the day, audio is a chain, and the DAC is just one link. Your headphones, your source, your music files, they all matter just as much, if not more. So, instead of blindly following the hype, understand what your setup actually needs. A DAC can be an upgrade, but only when it's the right upgrade. And that's the truth most people won't tell you.